Good evening, Philippines. I am Abby Nashon. Welcome to Sports Desk. On the headlines. Lyceum of the Philippines University continues to dominate NCAA. Pacquiao versus Horn rematch talks still in progress. And tennis veteran Rafael Nadal beats Anderson in 2017 US Open. In what has already been history-making NCAA 93 men's basketball tournament, Lyceum of the Philippines University has just reached another milestone. To know why, Shandy Ruwado has a story.
Yes, Abby, drawing contributions from up and down the lineup, the Pirates destroyed Mapua University from start to finish for a 97-74 blowout at the Phil Oil Flying V Center last Friday.
Head coach Topaz Robinson fielded in all 15 of his players, and each and every one of them contributed at least 1 point in the scoring column. Robinson said that the beauty with this team is that they are 13 to 14 man deep, saying that there's always going to be about collective improvement and success. At the other end, they forced the Cardinals to commit 24 errors and quickly converted them to 28 points. CJ Perez remained at the fore of the attack and scored 7 points in the first quarter alone, which saw LPU rush into a 22-8 advantage.
Even though they end up the elimination round still spotless, Robinson said his crew is yet to reach its peak. For Sports Desk, this is Shandy Ruwado.
Meanwhile, pambansang kamao and Senator Manny Pacquiao want to talk about the rematch between him and Jeff Horn. Nathaniel Mariano has a story.
Senator Manny Pacquiao said yesterday that his rematch with WBO welterweight champion Jeff Horn of Australia remains under negotiation. He is, however, optimistic of finalizing a deal to make it happen at the 55,000-seat Philippine Arena late this year. Queensland's Premier, whose state government was the financial backer of the November 12 fight, announced on Friday that Pacquiao cannot return to the ring due to other commitments. Pacquiao said that the rumored match between him and Horn will not push through in Australia. According to an interview he did with radio station DZBB, Pacquiao stated that he will bring the fight in the Philippines, adding that it is good for the country's tourism. The 38-year-old boxer and senator had initially called for a rematch after losing his World Boxing Organization welterweight title to the 29-year-old Horn in a major upset in Brisbane on July 2. Pacquiao, who has won world titles in 8 weight divisions, had demanded a review of the bout, but the WBO declared Horn the clear winner after a panel of judges rescored the fight. Now in the twilight of a 22-year professional career, Pacquiao has not stopped an opponent in 8 years and briefly quit boxing last year to pursue his long-held political ambitions and was elected senator. But he quickly made a successful comeback against Jesse Vargas in November 2016, saying he still felt like a youngster. Pacquiao has defied calls to retire for good, including from his family and celebrated American trainer Freddie Roach. But he dismissed funding concerns about hosting the multi-million-dollar fight in the Philippines. He also shared that he has lots of friends who are supporting the bout, including the Department of Tourism, saying that even President Rodrigo Duterte is giving his all-out support. For Sports Desk, I am Nathaniel Mariano.
In other news, decathlon winner of the Olympics is dubbed as the world's greatest athlete. Let us know why through a special report by Leda Gandeza.
There is a reason why the decathlon winner of the Olympics is dubbed the world's greatest athlete. The contest combines 10 track and field disciplines into a grueling 2-day competition that pushes each competitor way beyond his limits. Aris Toledo was at the edge of his limits in the 2017 Southeast Asian Games in Kuala Lumpur. Trailing by 9 points at one point, Toledo had one thing in mind: to race until his last ounce of strength. The final event was the 1,500-meter race at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium in Kuala Lumpur. Sutisak Singkon of Thailand, the 2014 Incheon Asian Games gold medalist, was the man to beat. When Toledo finished the race, he dropped to the ground due to exhaustion. It was a familiar sight during the decathlon event. And the decathlete who was always winded at the end of his events in Kuala Lumpur can finally get some much-needed rest here at home. For Sports Desk, I am Leda Gandeza.
And Daniel Miranda dominates the Toyota Vios Cup with 2 consecutive wins. Our correspondent Dylan Afuang has the story.
Yes, Abby. After an amazing finish at the first leg, the young 20-year-old racer Daniel Miranda blew away fans yet again at the recent Vios Cup Leg 2 eliminations, held at the Clark International Speedway, Pampanga last June 2017. Miranda of Team Avengers made a smooth finish to first in the Super Sporting Class category during round 1, overtaking Andres Calma of Toyota Bacoor and Gerard Loy of Team Bisqueg, who came in second and third respectively. In round 2, Miranda cemented his position as champion, completing the laps ahead of Gerard Loy in second place and Ramon Tatcuatco of AP Corse Toyota Makati in third place. Miranda was able to outbest 51 other participants, comprised of a mix of veterans and celebrity guest racers. The Toyota Vios Cup, the sole one-make race in the country today, has made a much-awaited return as its fourth season was launched early 2017 with more race rounds and celebrity guest drivers. Toyota Motors Philippines President Satoru Suzuki said that the event will feature 4 rounds starting from Clark International Speedway in Clarkfield, Pampanga. In a report online, Suzuki also expressed confidence that the Vios Cup will further develop and promote motor racing in the Philippines. The next race is slated in September at a still unspecified date. The fourth and final round will return to Clark from November 10 to 11. Some celebrity drivers, such as Aubrey Miles and Gretchen Ho, who will all be trained under the Tuason Racing School, are expected to spice up the race. Some celebrity drivers, such as Aubrey Miles and Gretchen Ho, who will be all trained under the Tuason Racing School, are expected to spice up the race. For Sports Desk, I am Dylan Afuang.
In the United States, tennis veteran Rafael Nadal beats Anderson to win 2017 US Open title. Our senior correspondent Lex Antonio has a story. Lex?
Rafael Nadal defeated Kevin Anderson in straight sets during Sunday's final. Nadal was playing his 4th US Open and his first since winning the 2013 US Open. This was a great opportunity for Rafael Nadal to rekindle his memories playing his best in the finals, while Anderson was making his first Grand Slam final appearance. With his win, the Spaniard claimed his 3rd US Open. It has been a dominant season through all 4 majors, but the world's #1 seed Rafael Nadal's victory over 28-seeded South African Kevin Anderson at the US Open gave him his 6th Grand Slam title. Nadal also won the French Open in July. Nadal's path to the final only included 1-seeded opponent, 24th-seeded Juan Martín del Potro, in the semifinal. Anderson entered his first career Grand Slam final and fell short to Nadal in straight sets, winning 6-3, 6-3, 6-4 to capture the 2017 US Open title. Anderson is the first South African to advance to a Grand Slam final since 1965. Though Nadal has made it to all but one Grand Slam final this season, with his victory on Sunday, Nadal now has 3 US Open titles. This is a memorable experience for Nadal and soon to be one of the greatest players who played the game of tennis. This is Lex Antonio reporting.
Meanwhile, in football, Lionel Messi's hat-trick puts Barcelona in La Liga lead. Shandy Ruado has the story.
Messi hat-trick puts Barca in Liga lead as Madrid draws. Barcelona has quickly put an agonizing August behind it and taken the early lead of the Spanish league. Lionel Messi scored a hat-trick to lead its 5-0 win over crosstown rival Espanyol on Saturday, making it the only side so far to win its first 3 games in La Liga. Real Madrid fell 4 points adrift and sits in 6th place after a second consecutive draw at Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, 1-1 with the newly promoted Levante. Barcelona entered the league campaign reeling from the unwanted departure of Neymar to Paris last month, and the stinging loss of Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup by the aggregate score of 5-1. But the new coach Ernesto Valverde has refocused his players on the league, and Messi has done the rest by scoring 5 goals to lead the competition. Atletico Madrid drew at Valencia 0-0 in a dull match that kept both sides undefeated. For Sports Desk, I am Shandy Ruado.
That's it for tonight. I am Abby Sean and see you again tomorrow here in Sports Desk where we go above and beyond the headlines.